And so I want to look at some of the heroes out there, right? These are the cops that are defying the stereotypes that we have right now. And these are men and women in uniform who go out of their way. They go above and beyond the call of duty. They are unafraid. They're willing to jump into action when the chips are down, when things are difficult, when they've got something to lose. And sometimes that something is their life. Or maybe it's just cops who are doing good things. They're doing kind and noble things in the community. Now, I've covered a lot of stories over the years, and there is one that just stands out. It involves this New Mexico police officer named Ryan Holitz. Now, Ryan was called into action for a situation that ended up being a false alarm, and so he's leaving the scene one day, and he notices this homeless couple, and they're sitting out in the grass, and they're doing drugs. So he goes up to approach them, and as he's walking up to the couple, he puts his camera on, his body cam, and he notices that the woman is 8 months pregnant. And the entire thing in that moment just leaves him in total shock. So he approaches the woman and he says to her, "What are you doing?" He starts questioning her. He's like, "Listen, you could kill your baby with these drugs. What are you doing?" And in those moments, it's really interesting because after, when he was interviewed, he said he felt this voice prompting him to do something almost unthinkable to me when I ponder it. He offered on the spot in that moment to adopt her unborn baby. I mean, it seems crazy, but then he and his wife actually did. They adopted baby Hope. And the rest of the story is history, right? They're on the record saying they felt God calling them to help this couple. And I don't care what you think about faith or any of those elements. At the end of the day, Holitz and his wife are nothing short of heroes, right? I mean, it's amazing. And he's not alone. There are so many other stories of cops around the country who have gone above and beyond to do amazing and selfless things. I encountered this other story, Officer Daniel Bologna, who he dove into frigid waters back in January. And this was a situation where a woman was basically in danger of drowning. And so later on, he's interviewed about this heroic act. And he said something. I just want to give the quote because it's so amazing. He said, "I knew somebody had to go in. There was no other option." I mean, this is the selflessness, right? That every single day, police officers, people who leave their wives, their husbands, their kids, and they go into the abyss of uncertainty every day. This is the kind of stuff that they're doing. There are two Milwaukee police officers, Nicholas Schley and Nicholas Reed, and they had a different kind of circumstance. They saw this car, burst into flames. And in this case, they jumped into action. You've got a car on fire, three teenagers inside. They go in, they pull these teenagers out. And after the story broke, they were given praise. And what was interesting is that Reed said something that I think really rings true today, particularly as we grapple with police misconduct and all the points that are being made. Police are being put into a negative light. He said, quote, "Officers all over the states, all over the United States, they do stuff like this every day that isn't recognized. Their stories aren't told." I mean, that is so true. These are stories that we don't get to hear very often, and yet they're the experiences of brave cops who go out of their way every day to live up to the call of duty. And yeah, I don't want to deny the fact. We can't deny it. There are bad apples. There are bad cops who do selfish and deadly crimes, right? Just like any other field, there are bad ones, and we've got to note that. But we also have to note that those failures are not indicative of the majority of police officers, right? And I think a simple Google search, I mean, you'll see cops who have stopped mass shootings, cops who have saved children, who have helped men and women. I mean, the list goes on.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.